If you feel like you've become a placeholder in the dating landscape, and by that I mean you stay too long in connections that you don't actually feel at home in, or like you always have to perform or be on to get or maintain attention, or that when you do start to express your needs or your depth, that she's either startled or that you end up frustrated, there's a different lens that you need to be applying in order to start shifting these results. Because there is an alternative reality that you can't quite see through the lens with which you're using, where you naturally capture a woman's attention and actually put her in the headspace to discern if she's a good fit for you too. And when you do that, it opens up a level of trust that leads to sexual connection and deeper commitment. And where having desires and being desired are actually part of your norm. They may be slightly uncomfortable because they're new, but it is part of your normal routine. And I know this because these are examples of what has happened in the clients that I've worked with. And if you're new to my work, my name's Courtney Shand. I love helping men with depth learn how to lead from that space. I know these are possible because these are the experiences that the men who go through our courses are having. And if I were to break it down into 3 shifts that have them go from feeling like a placeholder to feeling like a potential partner, it's that they're willing to release the experience that they've been bracing for and get really clear on what compatibility it actually means for them. And then the last piece is that they're willing to put on this potential partner lens. And I don't mean that every woman that they see is potentially the one. What I really mean by that is they're willing to see themselves and start accounting for all the nuances that partnership requires of them. Because to put on the potential partner lens doesn't mean that you have everything figured out, but it does mean that you're willing to engage differently. I've been saying for a long time that the recovered nice guy is like 95% of the way to being exactly what every woman in the dating space is looking for, and that he's so much closer than he even realizes. And I would say that the last 5% is this inner shifting that has to happen where he starts to see himself in that way. Because for most of my clients, they've spent years trying to get to the root of what's wrong with them, why things aren't working out for them, why they show up as a nice guy. They've done inner child work, they've worked on their family systems, they've gone to therapy and listened to all the podcasts. And so when they do this last 5%, the embodiment work, where they really tap back into their visceral presence, all of that study that they've been doing and all the information that they've been collecting now has somewhere to land and be emitted from. And this is what has women start to see him as a potential partner as well. Because when you're wearing the partner lens, you naturally sound different. I can tell in my first interaction with a man if he's looking through the potential partner lens. Because our thoughts shape the posture that we take, the space that we take up, how we show up in a situation, and therefore how people get to engage with us and the version of them that we see as well. Think about how it feels viscerally for you to walk into a room full of your friends. Maybe your body naturally relaxes, you talk in a normal tone, you don't have to rush or overthink things. And now think about what it feels like to be walking on stage giving a presentation to a room of 100 new people. Obviously, our body is responding to the environment around us, and our thoughts are helping us narrate what that scene is actually about. So I can tell that the quality of a man's thoughts when he's looking through the potential partner lens are somewhere along the lines of, I'm in charge of my decisions, I'm choosing to be here, I know what I'm doing here, and what I'm offering. Not from I have everything figured out and I'm the best, an inflated sense of ego, but from a solid sense of self-worth. There's a real centeredness to this type of energy. And there's a level of sovereignty in that he is building the skillfulness to start placing people appropriately depending on compatibility. It creates a relaxed feeling to be across from someone who is in charge of themselves like that, because it creates this natural gravitational pull. But in order to put on the potential partner lens, you have to be willing to take off the placeholder lens. Because when you have the placeholder lens on, the way that you're seeing the world is going to translate in your thoughts as, is she gonna like me? What am I doing wrong? And I need a guarantee that this will work before I'm willing to lean in. And this isn't to judge you, because this actually doesn't mean that you're someone who is overall unambitious or passive. It simply means that there is still some bracing that's occurring for you, probably viscerally, underneath your conscious awareness that's having this lens stay in place. Because what I found over and over again in helping people date, both men and women, is that your ability to discern what's right for you requires that you're connected to your gut instincts, to your intuition, and to your sense of resonance that, yes, this is the right move for me. And that doesn't happen by learning a new strategy or being told what to do. It does require that you tap into and start appreciating more nuance, because this is what allows you to get the information that you need to let go of that experience that you're bracing for and start showing up, which will naturally start allowing your thoughts to shift and shift how you are showing up. And this is when you start to notice people noticing you. You become attractive to the right type of people, which further builds your confidence in a social capacity. And that's when dating gets to be an extension of that tribe that you're building around you. So if this is something you've struggled with, this is the level that we take you to in Grounded. We're going to be starting another round soon, so I'm going to put all the information that you need here and in the description below. But we've had really great results and feedback from the men who have gone through that course, who've been able to shift the lens that they're seeing through from the placeholder lens into the potential partner lens, and have really started to see themselves embody the self-worth that allows them to receive the experiences that they're wanting to have. And because part of this shift requires you to be in a relational space, doing this in a group is actually the perfect setting to start shifting the lens through which you're looking. Not only do you meet like-minded people who are in a similar stage in their journey, but also your learning increases exponentially, because all of the questions that you didn't think to ask probably get asked by someone else, and the scenarios that you haven't necessarily had or brought up are the ones that other people are bringing into the group space as well. So as someone who really values learning and growth, I love being in group spaces for that reason. Grounded really is just the entry point. I've been working with my partner, Andrew Bauer, to revamp all of my courses behind the scenes to take the conversation even deeper. So there are at least 3 courses that follow Grounded, that the skills and the shifts that you have in Grounded are the prerequisite for all the content that follows. From navigating sensual and sexual dynamics to how you show up and lead, and common language, which is our couples course that I'm really excited to be launching in the next couple months. So stay tuned for all that as well. I'm going to be talking more about each of these courses, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what's available when you step into this space. And if you're not quite sure, feel free to book a discovery call. I'm going to put the information that you need in the description below. And if you found this one helpful, I think you're also going to like this one.